Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Committee of the Whole meeting for Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. I'll now call the meeting to order and do the territorial acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Administrative and procedural issues, 2.1, approval of the agenda. The recommended motion is that the agenda for today's meeting be approved as presented. Moved by Councilor O'Telley, seconded by Deputy Mayor Gould. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Motion carried. Direct your attention to the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act, where you're required to declare a conflict of interest prior to any discussion on the matter. 2.3, approval of minutes. The recommended motion is that the minutes of the June 18th, 2025 regular Committee of the Whole meeting and the July 16th and August 27th, 2025 special Committee of the Whole meetings be approved as presented. Motion to approve those, please. Moved by Councilor Lockhart, seconded by Councilor Redmond. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Motion is carried. Business arising, 2.4. Mr. Harrod.
Thank you, Worship. Business arising business arising is at pages 15 to 17 of Council's information package. Happy to report that all items with the exception of, on all 3 pages, with the exception of the report on well drinking water in River Hibbert are complete. That one is in progress. Happy to answer any questions that council has.
Anyone have any questions on that? Seeing none, go ahead, Mr. Hurt.
That's it.
Is everything?
That's
okay.
Both pages.
That was the second, yep. Third page of that.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you very much. Item 2.5, presentations. We have a presentation here today, 2.51, regarding the installation of an outdoor sculpture at the Pugwash Library. Ladies, would you like to come forward? Okay, I will caution you that you have 15 minutes and that the CAO has the timer going once you start, so to make it official. Go ahead.
Well, your worship and councillors, thanks for taking the time to let us present to you with this initiative. My name is Noreen Smiley, and this is Louise Cloutier. We're both artists in Pugwash, and we're also representing Pugwash Communities in Bloom for this project, which is an eelgrass legacy art project. Okay, so it's my job to tell you a little bit about this, and then Louise is going to tell you what we're asking for. The Eelgrass Legacy Project is a collaboration between the Community Eelgrass Restoration Initiative at Dalhousie, Pugwash Communities in Bloom, and the Pugwash Artists Collective. In the summer of 2024, as part of a province-wide initiative, scientists from Dalhousie worked with volunteers from the Friends of the Pugwash Estuary to plant eelgrass in locations on the river estuary to restore the healthy aquatic habitat supporting marine life in that area. Excuse me. This has proven to be highly successful compared to some of their other plantings. Pugwash is up something like 200% from where they started monitoring it. This spring, the Community Eelgrass Restoration Initiative has contacted the Pugwash Artists Collective to discuss the creation of a legacy public artwork that's sort of that's a reminder and a thank you to the community for participating. So in other words, these scientists have funding to do this project for 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 years, but they also got a grant to fund art projects around the province in those communities. So they contacted us. The Pugwash Artists Collective, so we are a loose group of artists. So we contacted Communities in Bloom as a society that exists with the ability to handle money. And so this is a collaboration in our community between Pugwash Communities in Bloom, the Artist Collective, and the Pugwash Open Air Gallery, which, you know, puts art all around the community and is a a project of Communities in Bloom. And we happen to be involved in all those things. So we put our noggins together, and we're proposing creating an eelgrass meadow outdoor metal sculpture constructed out of pre-purposed metal representing eelgrass and some of the marine life found in our local shoreline. In addition, we'd have an interpretive panel that talked about the project and those animals and who's funding it, you know, that kind of thing. Anyways, we've looked at a number of likely locations, and that's why we're here today. Because our favorite location, with keeping in mind public visibility and weather conditions, safety and security was a big one, was we would like permission from the municipal councilors to install the sculpture on the site of the Pugwash Library, which you guys are in charge of.
Right.
Now, Louise is going to throw her 2 bits in.
And I've asked her to kick me if I get too long-winded. So I am Louise Cloutier, professional artist. I am one of the founding members, of which there are several, for the Pugwash Artist Collective. And I also sit with Noreen on the Pugwash Open Air Gallery Committee, which is under the umbrella of CIB. I was also an educator at Pugwash District High School for 25 years. And in my 3.5 decades of being in the community of Pugwash, I have witnessed our art community blossom. And it started, I believe, with the program that I had with the students, where I invited community to come knocking on the door in order to have students do youth art that they could value in the community beyond the walls of our hallowed school. And one of the projects that we did 3.5 decades ago were to create a village sign welcoming travelers to our community. Another thing that we did with the students was to create the Peace Ground, which talks about the history of our community of Pugwash. The Village Commission actually came knocking for the welcome sign, and it was CIB that came knocking for the Peace Ground, and a project to do with youth in our community. Well, let's fast forward from all those years ago when I was teaching. I'm now retired. We continue to grow the footprint that was first established by the students those years ago. We are a vibrant artist community, and each one of our members does something in the community to make sure that art continues to grow. And what we have done is we have created the Pugwash Open Air Gallery, which features a lot of the local artists' artwork on businesses, on outdoor walls of businesses. We have Art in the Park, which is a festival that occurs at the same time as the Pugwash Harbor Fest Festival. And we now have a painted pier in our community, and the hospital, just showing you how successful we are to integrate art in our community fabric. The hospital just recently asked us to participate in the decoration of their healing garden, so we have a lovely, it's our latest artwork that we've installed in the Pugwash Open Air Gallery. Also, we have one sculpture within this gallery, and it's the peace sign, which for reasons that are obvious to you all, Pugwash is celebrated for peace. And what's interesting about that sculpture that we installed in the Eaton Park is that it's become one of the traditions of Pugwash. If you could give me the second slide. During Harbor Fest Festival, attendees are given ribbons and are asked to write messages of peace on the ribbon, which they now tie to the sculpture. So it's just showing you how well art is received in our community. If I could have slide 3. Our library also is a supporter of art in our community. Archan Knotts, who is a PAC member, a Pugwash Artist Collective member, has created an art gallery within the library, and we change the exhibit every 2 months. Recently, the Cumberland Art Bank asked to exhibit the entire collection in the gallery, and that, of course, was well received. On the right, we see an image in the backyard of the library when we when the Lieutenant Governor came to award the Citizen Spirit Award to Pugwash.
Yeah, this was a stumbling block.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
on
yeah.
way here. The
Community Spirit Award. And in the background, you see the art installation that you approved last time we came knocking on your door 2 years ago, I believe it was, where we have an art installation on the back of the building. And it's about this lovely building area, site that we have come knocking on your door again today. If you could give me the third slide, please. Next slide.
About 6.5 minutes.
I introduce you to an artist concept of the project that we would like to install. It's just a concept. The artist obviously will have greater detail working on this. It's called Eelgrass Meadow, and what we would like to do is put it on the front yard and have it lit at night with solar lights, which will create these wonderful shadows on the wall behind it, giving greater depth to this. Why did we choose the library? Well, first of all, that building is on the mouth of the estuary. It's also a place of learning, so people can learn about this wonderful project that Dalhousie has initiated in our community. And it's just a very active, vibrant place, already supportive of art. If this particular site is not voted upon as the best place to do it, we do have an alternate site also on the library grounds, but first I'll have you know that this is our most favorite. It will be, the metal work is going to be done by artist Jason Boisduc, and he will create eelgrass plants that we will be painting green, and he will also be creating the creatures that are found within the eelgrass meadows at the tops of them. If you could go to the next slide, it's our second choice. It's behind the Pugwash Library. My team, our team, that's Noreen and another person from the Planning Committee, along with the Dalhousie representatives, are standing in that area that we thought would be a second choice place, of which we would have 3 to 5 plants in your backyard.
So, yeah, and that would be like at the back. The reason we prefer the front of the library is it'd be more accessible for an interpretive panel. It gets a lot of traffic. This would be car traffic for this one, and it's also more exposed to the weather there. We get a lot of wind right up there in Pugwash, and we think the front of the library would be, a little bit more protected. So, do you have any questions?
And also you would get the shadow effect in the first location, but not in the second.
Yes, it's hard
That's
to get the
exactly.
shadow effect unless, I stand behind it all day or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
at night.
Yeah,
Okay, so, thank you very much.
okay.
You're welcome.
Does anyone from council have any questions or comments? Councillor Fromm, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, it looks like a great project. I was just kind of wondering, like, how permanent of a display would it be? Like, would it be anchored in the ground with concrete or?
Yeah, sorry, did I not say that? So there are sono tubes that will go down into the ground, and cement will be poured in it, and then the artist will install a long rod, which is attached to each plant, into the sono tube, and it
Okay,
will
so-
be very secure.
Okay, so no worries
Thank you.
about theft or anything like that, yeah.
Don't want
Okay.
people carrying them away.
Thank you.
They won't be going anywhere.
Right.
Excellent, thank you.
Anyone else?
We should mention also that Dalhousie is amply funding this project.
Okay.
So we are, there's enough money there to pay the artist and for the materials, and, yeah, it's, all we have to do is organize it.
Good, thank you very much. Greg, go ahead.
Yep, thanks for the presentation. Just 3 questions. Ongoing ownership of the work.
See, sorry, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, Communities in Bloom is taking responsibility for it and we will fold it into the marketing and stuff of the Pugwash Open Air Gallery So we already have 20 installations in the village. This will become number 21. And so we have that organization, we do fundraising and throughout the community, we're taking responsibility of the maintenance and protection and the care and feeding of this sculpture.
It's the Community CIB organization you're referring to, I
Yes.
think? Yeah, thank you. So they're a registered society?
We are.
Okay. And would you retain insurance on the work?
We have not done that in any of our other installations, but I will write down that.
And the reason I ask is this one would be on our property, the other ones probably aren't.
Yes, it's the second one on your property.
And if I could just continue with my
Yeah,
list of bean counter questions, I apologize. I think you referred to ongoing maintenance that your organization
Yeah.
would be responsible.
Mhm.
The installation would include the wiring to light it. I know you said it would be solar, but there still would be some electrical work to do there, correct?
No, there would not be.
Okay. None?
No?
Okay. What's your thought on the life cycle of the work? So thinking about, after, is it 15 years, is it
Right.
20, is it 10? Just
So
thinking about
we
that.
we did check out a privately owned sculpture that's on Pugwash Point, which is a huge metal sculpture. And that's where we went to find out about the paint and what kind of lighting do they use on their property for it.
Yep.
They've used marine paint that you would use on ships. It's been, it has lasted 11 years, the paint itself,
Yeah.
protecting the metal. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that we would have the same success with that.
Okay, so,
It might mean a repainting in 11
yeah,
years.
okay. So your intention is it would be as permanent as
Yes.
permanent is?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah,
And would Communities in Bloom be willing to enter into an MOU or an agreement for
what is that?
just a memorandum of understanding, an agreement, in terms of
With the
responsibility?
municipality?
Yeah,
Yes.
just so we're clear, like, people will change, you know,
We
Right.
will
Yeah.
change, yes.
yeah,
Okay, yes.
okay. Thank you.
We already have one going with about 3 organizations to do this with Dalhousie.
Yeah.
So we might as well add you.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Lee, go ahead.
Your worship, thank you. Wonderful, love this. Just,
thank you.
I have to ask now from another perspective of
Yeah.
the front of the building, and I'll come over and visit Jen and hopefully be able to get a tour just so I can have more eyes on. I just look at the sidewalks and the entranceway to the library.
Yes.
And just thinking of like snow removal and salt and things like that around your
Good
sculptures and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts or feedback around that.
So it is close to the sidewalk there, so that would be shoveled. But when they do shovel that, they obviously are putting it on top of the brushwork, the brushes, the plants that are there. So I'm assuming that if it's not going to kill the plants, it's not going to hurt the sculpture, and you'll have room for snow there.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think it's a consideration.
okay, okay. It's just trying to like a picture is one thing, so I think I'm gonna do a quick
Okay.
Yeah.
visit, yeah. Thank you.
That's
Thank
a
you.
good,
Yep.
Thank you very much.
yeah, good question.
Anyone? Counselor Hoteling, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you very much for the presentation, and of course, I have been talking to you about this project previously, and I just want to say how excited I am for it. I love that there's a lot of art in Pugwash, and I hope that we get to keep putting more art all over the village, so thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
I think why Communities in Bloom likes this project is it's part of the heritage, the natural heritage of the community, ties into something we're already doing. And also, it's lots of brownie points with the collaborations in the community, which we're That's what
Yep.
we're always looking for.
Yeah, and that's what we saw earlier this summer when the judges were there and had that get together with the
Exactly.
judges.
Yeah.
They mentioned that type of thing very
Yes,
very
yeah.
much quite
We
on
kind of
two or
pride
three occasions.
ourselves on
Yeah.
lots of
Absolutely.
community organizations working together.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just to, before you go, I don't want, raise expectations or whatever as to timelines and stuff. Our CAO was whispering some timelines in my ear, and, Greg, if you want to enlighten us a bit on that, that'd be good.
Yeah, I thank you, Your Worship. Was just thinking we'd like a little bit of time to think about just things we hadn't thought about, unintended impacts and that sort of thing. And I want to talk to Ally and her staff. They're responsible for the library property. So as long as
course.
that worked out, we'd put it on October's council agenda. If
That would be great.
If that's okay.
Our
Yeah.
timeline is the winter to build this thing for the artist and to install it in early summer next year. We do have a question, though. It'd be great to know what's under the ground right there. I don't think it's too much of a concern at the end of the property facing the water. But right there, there's a charging station and.
Those would be among the things that we would be
Exactly.
thinking about that we don't
That
know
would be
yet,
great.
right?
That would be great for us to know.
Right, so,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
So Ally's making a note at the back of the
Yeah.
room and.
We tend to scope it out to
We'll
make
check
sure,
on
so,
that.
yeah.
Right. That may
Absolutely,
well
so.
impact your
Okay.
locations.
Yes.
Yeah, so that sort of would be our timeline unless we ran
I
into
think
something
so.
that we'd have to work around.
We'll try that.
We'll get it on the schedule or on the agenda for sometime in October
Excellent.
and do it and get it dealt with for you, so, anyway.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Excellent, thank you very
Your
much.
Worship. Thank you,
Thank you.
council members. Thank
Thank
you.
you, have a great day. Organizational and policy bylaw items, 3.1, pole banner policy 25-04, Alan McCormick, Director of Recreation and Community Services. So there you go. Mentioned the dispatches and now she's here.
Thank you, Your Worship. Included in your council package, you'll find the proposed pole banner policy. So the municipality receives requests from community organizations to install pole banners on municipally approved utility poles in the communities of Parrsboro and Spring Hill. We currently install graduate banners in Spring Hill and Parrsboro and veterans banners in Spring Hill. But with growing requests from other groups to use the poles, we believe a formal pole banner policy is a prudent undertaking for us. And so I've drafted a policy that has some clear, consistent guidelines, and it outlines the application procedures, deadlines, installation periods, banner limits, and responsibilities for both the municipality and the applicants. And its goal is to support community engagement and promotion while ensuring fairness, safety, and effective use of municipal resources. And this is included in your council package, so I'm happy to answer any questions of council.
Thank you very much, Ally. Council, anyone have any questions on this? Seeing none. Recommended motion is that council forward the pole banner policy 25-04 to the September 17th, 2025 council meeting for consideration. If somebody'd like to make the motion. Moved by Councillor Fromm, seconded by Councillor Lee. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Motion is carried. What are you saying?
Oh, wicked. Good.
Get out of here. For business item issues, there are no business issues for this meeting. 5, external reports, committee minutes. 5.1, the Navigator monthly report. Is, what do you want?
There for your, it's just.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Included in the meeting package, I should read a little further. Same with 5.2, the solid waste monthly report, and 5.3, the Cumberland Public Library's monthly report. Internal updates, reports, and committee minutes. 6.1, Administration Department monthly report. Peter McCracken, our Deputy CAO, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Certainly the summer has flown by and there have been no regular committee of the whole meetings, but since June. But as we know, the work continues, and Your council packages include 3 monthly reports from each department, which can be read for details. Today, the directors and I have been asked to provide a few highlights of the summer so far, and I'll begin with the administration department. While work in HR, IT, communications, and the clerk's office and community engagement has been busy, I'd like to focus on our work in occupational health and safety. Our OH&S officer, Brian Tennant, began in June, and we have been focusing on him getting to know the organization, our safety practices and processes, and areas where we can show some early improvements in occupational health and safety. Some of these areas we've been working on include developing a safety training plan tailored to employees' job functions and addressing general organizational needs for safety training as well. Regular site and facility safety inspections have been occurring and have led to immediate safety improvements. We've also identified ways to improve site inspections for our facilities, improve risk analysis for job sites, ensure our vehicle fleet is safer, and improve incident reporting when incidents or near misses occur. Those are just some of the things that, immediate improvements that we've seen with the hiring of this new position. We're very grateful to be able to have Brian aboard. In short, it's been a great benefit to the municipality to have an OH&S officer who can create an improved commitment to health and safety throughout the organization. Happy to answer any questions about any of the reports in the package.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCracken. Anyone have any questions on this report? Seeing none? Thank you very much. 6.2, Development and Planning Department Monthly Report. Glenn Boone, Director. Mr. Boone, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Members of Council, some highlights. You have 3 monthly reports in your package, but some key highlights. I know that the CAO provided an update with regards to the plan review, so it is underway, and Dillon Consulting is leading that process. We had a couple of pop-up sessions in both Pugwash and Parsboro to initiate that process. The parking lot in Parsboro in the main park downtown has now been constructed, and the asphalt's in place, so it's been reopened. We are probably going to close that just to get it striped out, but that will come in the future. The gateway entry, I don't know if you've been in via Fort Lawrence at night, but we have new solar lights up on the billboards. They apparently when there's no power last Friday, they were the only lights out in the area, so I guess it provided some benefit. But there's a couple other things that happened in the park as an update to that whole project. Parking lot's been resurfaced to preserve it, and the new business logo signs, I know I've mentioned those in previous reports from June and July, but the first of those business logo signs will be actually populated tomorrow. I just got an update on that just before the meeting. River Hibbert Joggins Matt Can brochure is now out and circulated, so I thank Councillor Lee for the patience in getting that out. And in respect to permits overall, permits you can see in your package, you get some data, but overall permits are up slightly from last year, which was another busy year at 2.5%. So 571 permits processed to date, and new housing starts were actually at 130 year to date for new housing starts, and that's actually a 26% increase over the same period last year. So happy to answer any questions, Your Worship, should there be any.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boone. Does anyone have any questions regarding this report? Seeing none, thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
6.3, Finance Department Monthly Report. Amy Hurdle, Director of Finance. Go ahead, Amy, you have the floor.
Thank you, Your Worship. It was a great summer, albeit busy for the Finance Department. We had an audit committee meeting before this meeting, so that's a lot of what we were working on through the summer. We were also collecting the annual taxes and preparing for a tax sale in October, so busy with that. There is some information in the report regarding service centers and how busy they were. And I'll just draw your attention to the low income tax exemption applications. So there have been 534 so far to date, for a total of about 277,000, which is within our budget for what we planned this year. And also, 62 tax certificates were issued in the month of August, so there's lots of property selling, which is great.
Very good. Awesome, thank you very
Any
much.
questions?
Oh, Councilor Telling's first. Hang on, Mr. Councilor Lockhart. Go ahead, Jen.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just on the service center transactions, there's a bold color and then a striped color on the graph. What does the striped color refer to?
So the striped color is last year's traffic, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Any more? No. Councilor Lockhart, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. On page 51, I just had a question because that was a suggestion on the water utility. It says door hangers are delivered and the utility for July shut off. Have we been taking a picture of those like we had talked about? So when someone comes back and says they never got it, well, like Amazon, we have it.
Right.
Go ahead.
Not in every case. We try to do that in some cases, but we don't have a procedure on that. So we don't have a policy. It just depends on what's going on. Depends on the account itself, whether we anticipate problems. We aren't doing it in every case.
Awesome. Councilor Lockhart, you good? Anyone else? Seeing no other questions, thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you, Your Worship.
6.5, Public Works Department monthly report. Justin Wildcrest, you now have the floor. Oh, 6.4. Oh, sorry, I checked it off and missed it. My faux pas, Mr. Cole. Protective Services Department monthly report, Alan Cole. Go ahead, Mr. Cole.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Tried to hurry you out of here.
During the summer, as everyone's aware, we've basically been in a drought scenario. We've been fairly lucky compared to some other parts of the province regarding fires. None of the fires that occurred in our district got out of control, and so we're keeping our fingers crossed for rain soon. The fire stats are pretty consistent throughout the summer months. With the fire hazards, there was a huge uptick in fire investigations, which were the result of calls of people smelling smoke or thought they saw smoke or whatever. Fire departments would investigate those, and in most cases, it turned out that there was no fire, just a fear of fire. One of the highlights of the summer was a dead seal removal on the North Shore, which required Director Wallcrest to drive a crane truck, and it was quite an operation with the assistance of Natural Resources and myself operating the crane. The lesson learned from that was never to answer the phone at 2:30 on a Friday afternoon from a counselor. So the other highlight we have is the Tidnish Bridge rescue truck is in the parking lot, has been delivered. It'll be presented to the fire department this evening. That's the 6th fire truck that we've had delivered in the last 2.5 years. We have 3 more to come. In addition to those 6, the Advocate Fire Department and the Wallace Fire Department have also bought additional trucks of their own, using their own funds from fundraising. So the fire truck situation is quickly being resolved from what it was a number of years ago. We have 3 trucks yet to come that have been ordered for Spring Hill, Pugwash, and Parsboro. Happy to take any questions, Your Worship.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cole. Does anyone have any questions for this report? Councilor Lockhart, go ahead.
More of a comment. When I was out touring the new golf course, I had heard the rumor and I asked them, so just want to give a shout out to the Braggs for lending us some big heavy equipment bulldozers to help with that fire by Oxford. I know they did, and it could have been a lot worse if they hadn't come to help us out.
Yep, thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Councilor Lockhart. Mr. Hurt, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a quick question. Alan, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you roughly within a month or two, talk about delivery dates for the 3 trucks that are on order? In which departments?
Yeah, the Parsboro rescue truck, we anticipate in November, possibly early December. The Spring Hill pumper tanker will be April 2027. The Pugwash pumper should be this coming spring. March, April is what we're hoping.
Of 26?
Of 26.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Gould, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just when a fire station or fire department buys equipment on their own, do we have a policy that controls maintenance and insurance and all that stuff, or is that something that we look after?
Your Worship.
Go ahead, Director Cole.
When a fire department buys a piece of apparatus, Your Worship, we treat it like every other piece. We maintain it, we insure it, we put the fuel in it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Gould, any further questions?
No.
Good, okay. Anyone else? Seeing no other questions, thank you very much, Mr. Cole. 6.5, Public Works Department Monthly Report, Justin Walcrest. I'm assuming that there will be some overlap in this report from the last one regarding the seal.
Oh, just another day in Public Works. It doesn't smell any better than any of the rest of the stuff we do. But we're happy to help, and Director Boone asked me to pat myself on the back because his Public Works crew installed those lights out in the marsh too.
Ah, there you go. Very good. Very good.
But happy to collaborate.
Yeah.
Big long list of stuff the Public Works groups have been up to over the summer in your package, and I'll draw your attention to some of the capital projects we've started and completed. The capital paving program has been completed in Spring Hill and Parsboro. We've installed new guardrail on the Whitehall Road in Parsboro, protecting a couple areas that were vulnerable. We received the dump truck we ordered last summer for use in the Spring Hill community, plow snow and haul aggregates around. And we've commenced working on the Parsboro water line replacement, and that is ongoing through the month of September. I'm happy to take any questions council may have, Your Worship.
Thank you very much, Mr. Walcrest. Councillor Redmond. Redmond. I was looking at, I started to say L and go H, but never mind. Okay, Councillor Redmond, go ahead. We'll go you first and then Councillor Hoteling. There we go.
The truck that you have for Spring Hill, it can be used in other parts of the county if needed, correct?
Your Worship? Yes. Yeah, but we collaborate across groups, and if it's required somewhere, it can go there.
Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Hoteling, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just had a question about when we might have our first water supply committee meeting.
Your Worship?
Go ahead.
Yes, with the appointment of members, I think that it should be imminent and be this fall. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Just a quick one. An update on the street light on the corner of the Goodwin Road and the 366.
Yes, it was scoped out by Nova Scotia Power on September 3rd. We spoke with the employee of Nova Scotia Power who was there and said the pole that's there will work, and they're working on getting us the quote, and we'll authorize that work when we receive it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Nothing else? We're good? We're all good. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you, Your
Walcrest. 6.6, Recreation and Community Services Department Monthly Report. Ally McCormick. Go ahead, Ally, you have the floor.
Thank you again, Your Worship. Included in your council package, you'll find the monthly reports for June, July, and August for our department. I'll just highlight a couple things from this summer. First of all, our summer recreation programming has concluded. Our staff ran several programs, including 7 weeks of outdoor adventure in Parsboro and Spring Hill and Pugwash, 7 weeks of Timbit soccer in 4 locations. They also offered 5 weeks of mini camps, pre-K camps, advanced soccer, pickleball, and t-ball in various locations. And in addition to the day camp and sports programming, our staff also supported community events like the Canada Day Festivals, Old Home Weeks in Parsboro and Spring Hill, and Harbour Fest in Pugwash. And it was a really successful year for our programming. We had a high demand for particularly our day camps in Spring Hill and Parsboro, high registration rates and some wait lists for those programs. And the demand for summer programming actually stayed consistent throughout the season. Registration held steady week to week, and even rebounded in the final weeks of summer, which was a surprise to us. So yeah, it was a successful year for us. We were really happy with the staff that we had this year, and we hope to see many of those staff return for next summer. And just some highlights on the campground. Campground's been experiencing some consistent year-over-year growth in occupancy throughout the summer. In June, our seasonal rentals increased. We were able to create 4 more seasonal spaces. And in addition to that, the number of guests in the short-term sites jumped by 35%. And this was indicating that larger groups and families were using the campground more. July, we saw a 20% increase in overall occupancy with every category improving. And this, we believe this can be attributed to the new electrical tenting sites. We have the 4 new beach view RV sites that are very high demand. And we had great weather, and we've also been focusing a lot on our marketing and promotion. By August, the site occupancy continued to rise, and our guest numbers climbed as well. And it suggested that visitors were booking longer stays or returning more frequently, despite the kind of the minimal changes in the number of the individual registrations. So far this month, we've been happy, again, just going into September, we've been happy with the rates, and we hope to continue to see, again, this incremental growth continue for the remainder of the season. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Ali. Anyone have any questions on this report? Go ahead, Councillor Fromm.
It's great to see the or your worship. It's great to see the campground improving. Is there any like numbers on like was it profitable this year or?
Your worship, we really get a better. We're better able to kind of capture where it's at the end of the season once all of our billings come in and electrical and stuff. So we try not to get too excited when the campground closes and the revenue stops. We try not to get too excited with those numbers because we know that there are other expenses that remain ongoing. But yeah, at this point we feel we're pleased.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? I'd say too that those numbers are very, very, very pleasing to see. You know, that we spent a lot of time and working on this on the campground to get it to the point where it is today, and it's nice to see that there's a reciprocal payback. But furthermore, you know, this year it would appear that tourism is the one bright spot in our local economy. You know, the drought certainly has played a huge factor in other parts of the economy in Cumberland County being not as good as they would normally be. And then all of a sudden, there's always an offsetting one. And it appears from everything we see that, you know, the marketing that we've done and continue to do in tourism sectors this year especially has really paid off, I think. So anyway, so hats off to you for that work too. So thank you. Very good. Thank you very much, Ali. 7.1, contracts awarded by the CAO.
Your worship, I would like to defer that by a week. We spent the morning meeting with mayors and CAOs and didn't get a chance to pull that, so I'd like to put it on next week's agenda if that's okay.
That's fine with me.
Thank you.
7.2, Strong Mayor Powers briefing. Mr. Herrick.
Thank you, your worship. There's a memo and a position paper from the AMA and council's information package. And this is an issue that's been making its rounds in the media in Nova Scotia in the last month or so, largely in reference to what's been going on in HRM. But we believe and we understand that legislation is being drafted by the government with respect to strong mayor powers. We are not, and when I say we, I mean the Association of Municipal Administrators and CAOs in general. We believe that that legislation is being drafted. We don't know what it includes and what it doesn't include. So Wanted to brief council on the issue and then just a bit of a recommendation at the end. So I'm sure it's at least of passing interest to those who aren't exactly sure what it is, because it's something different than our current governance arrangement. As you know, currently the mayor is a leader among equals, one vote, a member of council, speaks for council. The mayor's job is to lead council, create consensus, communicate on behalf of council, and be the link between council and my office and administration. There aren't any special executive powers with the mayor's office, and the mayor only has one vote. What is being proposed, or talked about, I should say, it's not fair to call it proposed. What's being talked about is the adoption of a model of strong mayor powers similar to what's in place in Ontario. There is lots of experience in Ontario. Strong mayor powers were implemented by the government there and rolled out initially to mayors of Ottawa and Toronto, and then progressively to other municipalities. So the concern here in Nova Scotia is that that will be rolled out to municipalities across the province. We have no way of knowing whether that's actually what's going to happen or how many of those powers would be rolled out, but we want to make sure, we want to create an awareness of what's going on. We'll talk about that in just a sec. There's no evidence that strong mayor powers are needed in Nova Scotia, and there's been no real reason provided as to why this is being contemplated. If we're to listen to the stories in the media, it seems to be largely about the council in Halifax and the mayor in Halifax and the provincial government wanting to get things done on housing and transportation and giving the mayor the authority to do those sorts of things. Most small, I keep calling this small mayor powers. Strong, it's the opposite of that. Strong mayor powers legislation in many cases, or in Ontario at least, removes the management of the CAO from council as a whole to the mayor alone. The mayor in Ontario can hire, fire, and rearrange the senior levels of the organization without council knowledge or approval. So that's CAOs and directors and perhaps even beyond that. We believe that the politicization of the CAO and senior management roles would set Nova Scotia municipalities back decades. We think that local government requires a functional foundations that execute the will of the whole council and not just one individual. Running the day-to-day operations of a municipality is a difficult one, and it's one where the needs of the community have to be balanced with the execution of council's strategic plan and priorities and keeping the public safe from harm. The CAO's role as a neutral professional administrator is important for effective governance, transparency, and accountability. And I think, and my colleagues think, that the integrity of the CAO's position is essential to uphold public trust and ethical standards. So there's a position paper from the AMA in the package, and I won't go through all of it, but we'll just talk about some of the highlights. So strong mayor powers, as I said, will give the mayor the authority to hire and fire CAO and senior administrators. As well, in Ontario, strong mayor powers confers on the mayor the authority to present the municipal budget. So it wouldn't be, staff might be presenting it, but it would be the mayor's, at the mayor's direction. Might not necessarily get an evidence-based approach. It could certainly be completely political. I think it's important to say that, and I can say from experience in almost 30 years of municipal government, that I've worked for, including this one, good mayors and good councils who are reasonable. And we work as a team, and it works well. But that won't always be the case, and that isn't always the case. And it's that outlier, it's that one time where that didn't happen, where there is potential for real harm, I think, to the municipality. In Ontario, the mayor has control over committee structure and committee leadership appointments, so appoints committees, appoints chairs of committees, and administers, in general, those committees. As well, for designated provincial priorities, as the mayor interprets them, the mayor can veto council measures, and that veto is subject to then a process where council could override the veto with a 2/3 vote. But that's messy, and that's complicated, and it certainly doesn't promote building consensus, among a team of 9 elected members, for sure. As I said, I've been in municipal government almost 30 years, 20 of those as a CAO. And I believe strongly that strong mayor powers will eventually lead to chaos in many municipalities. I've been through a number of elections as CAO, and it's a little bit of a joke, but it's true. Each time that there's been a municipal election when I've been in a CAO's chair, whether it's been here or whether it was in the town of Amherst, somewhere on the campaign trail, somebody officially said, oh yeah, we're going to clean house at town hall, the CAO's got to go, and this director or that director's got to go. And that's without fail, every single time. So imagine being a senior administrator in a municipality, whether it's the CAO or whether it's a director, and just dreading that 4-year election cycle. So I say that as a little bit of a joke, but it's not a joke, because it impacts the quality of the people who will eventually want to be CAOs. It impacts the quality of the people who will eventually want to be directors. The line between administration and elected representatives isn't black and white, and it has to be managed in a respectful way by both the CAO and the mayor, who have respect for each other and respect for the process. In order to manage council's goals and objectives, in order to get the work done, and in order to do that in a timely and effective way. I've talked a lot about the administrative side, but I can't imagine wanting to sit in a council chair with 9 members of council, including the mayor, where the mayor was able to overturn your decisions. You would wonder about your relevance. At this point in time, it's my understanding, it's our understanding, my colleagues and I, that NSFM, the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities, has not taken a position. They have done a member survey. I'm not sure if those survey results are going to be released or not. I guess we'll see. But they haven't taken a position on what is, I think, an incredibly important governance issue in Nova Scotia government life. It might be, there's an argument to say it's the most important governance issue in municipal government in Nova Scotia since the amalgamation and the creation of HRM and CBRM. It may well be that. It really changes the dynamic. So my suggestion, Your Worship, is that council have a chat about this, determine whether, if they're so inclined, whether there is support for the strong mayor powers, whether council is opposed to those, or if it's something in between, and that we write to the NSFM and ask them to advocate on behalf of whatever opinion it is that you have, and perhaps communicate with government so that they are aware of at least what this council's opinion might be. So happy to answer any questions. There's lots of material to read, and happy to answer questions today, and happy to answer questions in the weeks to follow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg. Councillor Redmond.
I don't have 30 years, but I have 17 years of service with the municipality, and that I see no flaws in the way that we are doing it now, and it scares me to think, for example, just say I was the mayor, and everyone knows that Greg and I have had some disagreements, and just think if I was sitting in that chair and we had this disagreement, and I said, go, you're out of here. That would be, I'm lost the word, destructive to the municipality to put my own personal opinion into whether a staff person has a job or not. And I will say Greg does a marvelous job. We don't agree on everything. But we have a good working council as it is, and I don't see the importance of a mayor having control. What would be the sense of the 8 of us sitting around this table if what we came to agreeance on was not accepted? And I would strongly vote, I would even go down with a picket sign. And it's just, like Greg said, it turned back council decades, and I just don't want to see that happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Councillor Lee, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. More of a comment as a new councillor. The level of disconnect I would have had without having individuals who are able to provide the insight and the information to us as councillors in this space. Again, to delegate power that way, I mean, we just have to reflect on global politics and outcomes of what that looks like. If you have balance and you have people at the table who do the work and can provide feedback and opinions, you're always going to end up with something better. So again, Kathy, I'll be on the lines with you. I am definitely not in favor of this, and it makes me very uncomfortable that this is something that they're exploring.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you, Your Worship.
So, Councillor Hotelling.
Yep, I just want to say I agree with what's been said, especially Councillor Lee's mention of global politics and what's happening south of the border and those types of things. It's a little frightening, so I'm not in favor as well.
Good. Anyone else? I'll sum it up a bit to say that we've had many lengthy conversations about this over the last few days. Yeah. We're still a little unsure what the agenda or potential target is from the government to even float this thing out. I can't imagine the chaos, turning my councillors from councillors with an opinion and in a vote and a strong say in what happens in this municipality to people leaving a message for me saying, you know, just go do whatever you want. You know, I could never ever put myself in that scenario. And if this was something that got voted in by the province and by the NSFM, I think I would be the first person to resign, quite frankly. So, because I'm always of the opinion, if it's not broke, why fix it? And I can't see where this possibly could go. I can say we did talk about it this morning, and we had other mayors here for a visit, which we'll talk about after a bit. You know, and everybody said the same thing. They're out of the 52 municipalities or whatever it is in Nova Scotia, that there's probably 15 mayors sitting around somewhere is all for it. You know, out of the bunch for some hidden reason, which we really don't want to find out, quite frankly. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. So, do we want to talk about sending a letter now to the NSFM about this, or do you want to wait for a few days, or how do you want to play this out?
Well, I think, thank you, Worship. I think time is of the essence. Legislature is back in session 23rd, I think, of September. I think it's important, and we're late in the game now, so I think it's important if council is interested in making their wishes known and their opinion known, that we do it in a timely way. We did talk with mayors and CAOs from around the northern close region, and there is consensus similar to what council's expressed here today, and those are certainly individuals expressing that. Those aren't councils, but mayors and CAOs, and so I think there is a will to communicate together and perhaps draft a letter to NSFM and draft a letter to government, and so to get direction to do that, reflecting the conversation today and council's consensus would be I think in order, and I'm certainly willing to draft that for sure.
I'll entertain a motion to that effect. Everybody's got their hands up. So. I don't know if we need a vote anymore now. Everybody went with their hands. So anyway, so yes, we will draft a motion to the NSFM, a letter or whatever. The motion is fine that we do draft the letter, I guess would be the motion. Kathy, do you want to put that in words for us?
Sure.
Yep.
And I will make that motion.
Thank you very much. Seconder for the motion? Counselor Strong, okay. Now, everyone in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion's carried unanimously. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you for that, Greg. 7.3, NSFM bylaw changes. Here we go again.
Yeah,
All in the
so,
same vein.
so I think I can be a little briefer on this topic, Your Worship, but it's one just, again, to bring to council's attention. I know that NSFM has had some communication with members of council on this, but I want to highlight it and the concerns that municipal administrators in general have, and that I have. So there are a number of bylaw changes being proposed by NSFM, and council has had access to those. You can see those in the communication materials from NSFM. Many of them are housekeeping. There are a couple that I don't believe that are they're housekeeping. They are substantive, and they are to remove the AMA, Association of Municipal Administrators, representative from the Board of Directors of NSFM, and the other is to exclude CAOs and staff from members' meetings at NSFM. So just some background on both of those. For 2 or 3 decades, the two organizations have actually co-located and have had a member on each other's board. I'm a past president of the AMA, and when I was the immediate past president, I served a term on what was then the board of the Union of Nova Scotia Municipalities, UNSM, along with other past presidents. The board of NSFM wants to go in another direction and believes that it's not appropriate for our organization to have a voting seat or to be included in those meetings. We respectfully disagree, and we believe that we bring balance to those conversations. We believe that we bring an evidence-based approach and a discussion perhaps about unintended consequences many times on policies that are being discussd. So there's some material in the package. There will be a vote at the NSFM general meeting in the fall. These changes require a 2/3 vote of the membership. It's my opinion that is not in the best interest of municipal government in Nova Scotia. I don't believe it's in best interest of the members of NSFM. The board of NSFM obviously disagrees, as is their prerogative, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. The second one, that is the exclusion of the board seat. The other one is probably, they're both important, but this one might even be more important, and that is to exclude CEOs and staff members from NSFM members' meetings. So in the past and up until now, there might be any number of NSFM meetings on any number of topics. They may be technical, it might be a fiscal review initiative that's on the go. It might be a discussion or a policy discussion about policing. It might be about solid waste, any number of topics. And it is my view and the view of my colleagues that CAOs, not only CAOs, but other staff members like directors of planning and directors of finance and our engineers and our recreation folks add value to those conversations in a way that they bring a technical understanding of the issues at hand to the elected members, so that not to tell you how to vote, but to advise you and to provide you with the information so that you can, in a balanced way, decide how it is this needs to play out for you. This, again, is one of those bylaw changes that will come to the NSFM fall conference, and I urge you not to support it. I urge you not to support either of these things. We understand that there may be some movement on this second issue with the ability of CAOs and other staff to attend meetings, but at this point in time, we haven't seen it. So not only do I urge you not to support those changes, but I would suggest that you might want to have correspondence drafted to the other municipalities to express your concerns and to encourage them to think carefully about how they vote on those two amendments in particular. So, Your Worship.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harris. So, anyone have any comments on that? Councillor Redmond, go ahead. And then Councillor Lee.
For the new members that will be going to the NSFM in November, each individual that was and still should be given a card that you use to vote with. And it's only done at one particular meeting, so if you miss that meeting, you're missing out on your opportunity to vote. And I would make a motion to write to our fellow municipalities.
Thank you very much. Okay, hang on a minute. We had another comment coming in over here. First, Councillor Lee had her hand up too, so I'll read back to you there, Kathy. Just hang on. Go ahead, Councillor Lee.
Your Worship, thank you. So I know I'm new, but I feel like I've landed in something that I'm baffled, because I can't understand what the exclusion of people who provide like feedback and information and education, how that could ever benefit anyone in any lane. I mean, again, the more collaboration and the more knowledge that you have to make decisions, the better. That would be like me arriving here and having to figure out something. If it hadn't have been for, say, Glenn's explanation of something, sorry, Director, but if it hadn't have been, how would I ever have any working knowledge of that based? It's not my expertise. So I'm just baffled by how this is seen as progressive at all or supportive. So I don't understand, but yeah. So that's where I'm at.
If I could just
Yep, go ahead.
kind of provide some context, and I can't speak for NSFM, obviously, and I don't speak for AMA, but I was certainly aware of, you know, the issue and what's going on. And I want to add a little bit of emphasis to the issue that you've brought forward. I think it's important that council has all of the background that we're able to give them so you can make an informed decision. So people with technical knowledge, specific education, and the experience are able to advise you, so you have the benefit of all of that. Our concern, the concern of my colleagues and I, is that without our input, and when I say our, I mean senior municipal employees, CAOs, directors of all of those things that I mentioned, that you won't have the full breadth of the issue. Not only that, but if we are excluded from those meetings, it will take much longer for our folks to gain an in-depth technical understanding of what is being proposed. So that would be an unraveling of the story twice. I don't want to be too critical of people or organizations, but I can point to NSFM, and I can say that I don't believe, I stand to be corrected, but I don't believe that there are staff people in NSFM, in some of those advisory and policy roles, right from top to bottom in that organization, who have experience working in municipalities, let alone individuals who have experience running departments or running municipalities. So again, it seems to be a little bit odd. I know that NSFM will say, oh, that's not the intent. They will be welcome in most cases. We just need an opportunity to meet by ourselves to talk about some things at the political level. okay? If it's about the organization, that's fine, but if it's about policy, I think you deserve the advice that myself and my colleagues across the province, including the people in this room, can give you. So I don't have an answer for you, Councillor Lee. You know, we can all read our own spin into whatever from both sides, but this just does not seem to be in the best interest of municipal government.
I don't think.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Your worship, I was just gonna say, I'm not gonna name anything, but I'm gonna say, we are all well aware of other organizations that default it to the people who think they know the workings rather than the workers themselves sharing the input in the development of things, and they are failing miserably. So there's lots of examples that are happening within our own worlds and services that we access and use. And I really am just, you know, alarmed that anyone could see this as some type of solution to exclude people who can provide information. I don't have to like the information, I don't have to take the information, but at least I have the information.
Ability to get it.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Very well said. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Gould.
Clearly, now that our CAO is a year older, that everybody's trying to get rid of them. But I just want to let you know that over the last 5 years, we've have dealt with a lot of situations where your knowledge and your director's knowledge has been invaluable, and I will be supporting you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Councillor Lockhart, go ahead.
Question, so I was at the meeting last year, but will they have a time when people speak on this and before they vote, or just be a thing passed around to vote, or do you have an idea?
I can't speak to what their process is. I can't imagine that, I can't speak to what their specific process for this is, because maybe it's changed. But these are motions that would come to the floor, that would have to be moved and seconded, and there would be an opportunity, I believe, for discussion. So I do, so there will be that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, in the materials, well, the suggestion is that we communicate, council communicates its, maybe that's what Councillor Redmond was talking about when you and I were talking to each other. Sorry about
I'm going to go back to Councillor Redmond here right
Okay.
now. Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, just to, the motion would be that we write a letter to our fellow councils in Nova Scotia, letting them know how we feel about this, and maybe put some points in there.
Yep, sure.
And to Scott's, or Councillor Lockhart's question, it has been the norm that when these come to the floor, you have to line up at the mics and
To speak.
to speak, whether you're for or against something, and then the vote is taken after that.
I believe so,
That has been the norm in the past, so.
So you've heard the motion. Seconder for the motion, please. Seconded by Councillor Strong. Okay. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I
you're
appreciate
very
that.
welcome. Just before we adjourn, if everybody could, we're going to adjourn and then we're going to stay put for about 2 minutes, please. Okay, then just give me a couple of quick updates and then we'll go from there. Motion to adjourn, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor Gould. We are now adjourned. Thaned you very much. Amanda,